Okay, hi. I Rich asked me to review this letter at the meeting, so I think that's the agenda. We can open it up for comments. If any of you have any comments, we can open up for comments. I don't know if you want to talk first or you want to review the letter first. Okay, well, we're all going to read it and edit it right now. Okay, so I guess we can hold the comments till the end. Okay, so yeah. Oh, good. Yeah, yeah. But all these people were complaining because they were using that runway. Oh, yeah. Well, then yeah, right.
My thought,
Yeah, right.
I think
Right.
we need to get our residents, more than just the two of you, to those meetings, to be honest. Just because I know Ewing Township, my late husband, my son's business is there. You can work, they're not impossible to work with.
Right.
That, the Ewing Township, commissioners and all. Mercer. Well, it's Ewing Township is where I think the airport's in Ewing. Yes. Trenton, right. The commissioners are in Trenton. I used to know a couple of them. I don't anymore.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So so if we could just go over the purpose of this letter is to send to the Board of Supervisors what we need to do. And according to Rich, what we need to do is get the Board of Supervisors more engaged with Mercer County executive, the politics over there, and everything related to the airport and the flying school. Okay, so that's the point of this letter. And if you want to, I'm not going to read it out loud, but if we can go through just each of the sentences and bullets, and if you got any edits, we'll talk about it. Okay. All right. So let's go through the first paragraph, see if you got any comments on this.
Growing number of issues facing our community. So there's one, the planned airport expansion. Two, the potential PFAS contamination.
Right.
Three, dramatic growth in planes.
Okay.
That's great.
Done.
I'm still there, so.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Okay. Anything else in the first paragraph? First bullet? Re-engage? Is Benson still the Mercer County executive? I assume he is. Oh, okay. All right. We'll Mr. Benson. Okay,
So.
yeah, right. Yeah, yeah.
That why you labeled it untouchable situation. It wouldn't be.
Well, I think.
Well, I think it's right. Yeah, right, right.
You,
I don't think that's true.
anyway,
Is,
But I think. Above and beyond outreach,
so they're not, so I think we need to make sure that we put in there that we did check and they are not training mechanics.
one of the issues rising to, and that's the PFAS. Every day there's a new story in the
Right.
press.
Right,
And they were using that stuff as weed killer on the grasses,
right,
fields.
right.
But there's still no real address it when it, we find an issue. Even though they have identified that it is an issue. The last I heard, they were saying they were going to address it once the issue. Then they would.
So they're waiting for somebody to get sick and sue them.
Well, they're probably not aware. Okay,
I'm concerned that if there's PFAS and this is Ewing, it also goes downstream. I'm surprised Morrisville and the water hasn't seen something, or Bristol. And
well, we did. I was the one that looked up the PFAS, and there is higher PFAS down south than there is up here. But whether it's related to that manufacturing down there or whether it's related to the airport is hard to manage. And like Rich said at the Board of Supervisors meeting, it's hard to determine. We can't figure out if the sites that they're using to measure the PFAS are on the water or internal, which would make a big difference. But that comes up later in the letter. Are we done with the second paragraph?
Identify Benson, he's still there.
Yeah, I've got that
the
comment.
website shows him as still there since 2024.
Oh, okay, all right. So, good. Okay, are we done with the second? Are we're done with the second paragraph?
besides.
Throughout the many years I've been on this committee, identifying specifics is a real issue. They've never been forthcoming in what they say
Yeah, right.
or don't say.
In addition. Standard. New guardrails. Mitigation strategies. New guardrails. Just as saying that some minutes. Like, We're not saying, that we're gonna, any employees. You know, it's like, right now, right, it's like,
Right. Okay, so yeah, well, I would lump that under restrict operations and maybe in parens, put your guardrails after that. Does that make sense to you? Yeah, okay. Let's see, limit growth rate. So what were the things you were saying about being a good neighbor? I've got limit growth rate. Uh, alternate, would we say okay, curfews? Yeah, right. Yeah,
and
right. Yeah.
and
When you guys were at the meeting over in Jersey, excuse me, was this as big an issue as the PFAS and the expansion plants?
it was all, yeah, they,
Really? Interesting.
Noise. Yeah,
something that we,
right. Okay,
At our last meeting, I looked at FlightAware while we were speaking, and they showed the routes of I imagine it's a flight school because it was a smaller plane. Just goes in a circle, goes in a loop, goes in a circle, goes in a loop over the same areas repeatedly, it looked like.
really?
So those people must really be experiencing
Yeah,
some difficulty.
why would they do that?
They're students. They have
Holding?
yes.
Uh,
They want them to follow a certain route, but
Right,
tell the students that you have to distribute where the planes are flying.
Right.
It's not, you know, hitting the same people all the time.
okay,
And then there are also things they could do, I assume, in terms of noise mitigation with the altitude and the speed. Because again, you can, I'm sure that's something that the flight instructors could mention to their students, because you know, you take a turn at 95 knots. I mean, that's making a lot more noise than if you're basically traveling at 50 knots, 60 knots. So I mean, the things that can be done
okay,
in terms of guidance, make rise to students. So again, it's a guard.
Yep.
It's just not no constraints.
So here's what I wrote down. Ways to mitigate noise, restrict operations, and be a good neighbor, such as limit growth rate, curfews, limit or alternate routes, altitude and speed restrictions. Okay? Yeah.
There's a Cessna flying over us right now at 2,000 feet.
Yeah. Cool. Okay, can we go on to 1, 2, 3, 4? Reach out to other communities? Here's where PFAS comes.
Well, the PFAS, they're below what the EPA,
Yes.
but some of the wells are 400 times what the EPA. So well water is where they're finding PFAS, at least on the Jersey side. Yes, they did. I did look it up.
Okay.
It said that they have found some of the wells because of the old naval station, the well waters. I would not be drinking well water in Ewing or
Yeah.
Trenton. I can tell you that.
Oh, so you're talking about New Jersey.
Yeah, that's
water.
what they are finding it in wells.
Okay.
So
Oh, I know, the mufflers.
Oh, okay.
Essentially, Affinity Flight School in 2020 and 2021, got almost, for 2020, got 300,000, in 2021, got 300,000 PPP grants that were given, that they didn't have to pay back. So my assumption is that they got a lot of planes, it's a lot of planes, almost $600,000 PPP grants that were essentially given as part of the pandemic, even though the flight school was only closed for 2 weeks. So essentially, with that money, why couldn't they use that to put in up?
Yeah.
Again, being a good neighbor, right? If you got that money, what occurred in terms of the competitive analysis that's been done, made $37.9 million that what the flight school did. So they're basically making a lot of money,
Yeah.
and they got $600,000 on this from PPP grants that were given. So to ask for something like, have mufflers, have plane, when they lease the planes, because you can see the planes for, they tend to lease very old planes, 25-year-old planes, 1999, 2000, 2001.
Yeah.
And so this,
Yeah.
so again, that would be something. And then I guess, I don't know if it's under the point about PFAS, I'm gonna put it in the bullet above, but there is a concern about the lead, the fact that these, assessments, they use leaded fuel. And need to understand the potential impact, of the leaded fuel.
Okay.
May I ask you a question about this $600,000? What was the intention of that grant relief?
My understanding, from what I saw was that, they applied for the PPP grants as part of the pandemic relief because there was a concern that they didn't want these businesses to, fail during the pandemic. But the play school was only closed, just from the source that I saw, only closed for 2 weeks. But they received, I think it was in 2020, almost 300,000, and in 2021, 100,000, and both of those loans were forgiven.
Sounds like they have a pretty effective lobby,
yeah.
really.
Okay. Do we need to add anything to the PFAS?
It just seems, it is an ever expanding issue. Every time it seemed to open up a news story, in different publications where,
Right.
and people are suing like crazy to stop it. And doesn't seem to be a lot of interest in checking out what's in the ground over there or telling people around here what the risks are. All right. I think we're covered that one pretty well.
Okay. How about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? PA DEP to investigate.
I think that's the only way we're going to know whether it's what's coming in. I mean, it's not something a township can actually do.
Yeah, Rich says the PADEP, they were investigating over in Jersey.
No, I think he asked the PA DEP if they would engage with New Jersey
Mm-hmm.
to do an investigation, and they refused. I forget if they refused or if New Jersey ignored them. I don't remember what was the right answer to that. I would change investigates to engage with New Jersey. Because they don't have authority over there. Okay,
That's great.
next page. Airport expansion.
If the PADEP shut us down before, what makes it a viable request that they re-engage here?
Well, I think we're asking. Yeah, well, that's a good question. I don't know. I don't know how to,
Let's leave that one as is. I mean, Fitzpatrick's office, they've been stonewalled.
yeah.
Mercer County's not being specific. We asked the question again, or have this, put this in the letter from the supervisors to the Jersey officials.
How do you want me to word that?
Just leave it as is.
Oh, okay. All right.
Would you say? I mean, it's a pretty straightforward request for help. And, going to the next one, the 300, how can you defend a $300 million investment for a plan that they say has it'll increase 5 times in size, but will have no increased air traffic? Which is what they've always stated in
Yeah.
however long I've been doing
It
this.
makes no sense.
No.
You don't spend 300 million if you don't think you're getting it back one way or another. Now, I can certainly understand they want to improve,
Mhm.
but building a 300 million is a pretty good size airport.
Change, yeah.
Okay.
Rich
Let
did a great job.
the last paragraph. No,
That
we believe. Kind of goes with the above paragraph above it.
Unfortunately, I don't think we have the leadership in the FAA right now
No, I agree.
that,
Or the EPA.
or the EPA.
Let's-
In other
let's
words,
not
if
leave
we
it
don't
to-
have $10 million to donate to a certain person or to buy him something gold and shiny and glittery,
Let's leave out the Department of War then too.
please.
Sorry, we digress.
No, but seriously, I think that's part of the problem is
Yeah, you're right.
we're not Amazon who might want to use the airport or FedEx or somebody who gave him a large donation or something shiny and they're going to get a blessing. We're just ordinary people that are not giving anybody that kind of money.
Yeah, right. Well, we can certainly lay groundwork now for when times get better.
Exactly. We haven't had, to my knowledge, any cooperation from our senators
No.
No,
in the past or present.
correct.
There's no interest in their standpoint, from their standpoint.
Basically, here are recommended actions. Recommendation actions that we take. We'd like you to state whether things like, we have another meeting with Mr. Benson. Have a meeting amongst representatives of the governments of the local communities such as Upper Makefield, Newtown, Garvey Borough, have that specific action. To actually meet and meet with them. And so that's one,
You-
another action, would be,
You mean PA and New Jersey communities, right?
Let's go back about,
voice. So the other communities also have.
Makefield.
Okay.
Other communities, to.
well, I can
Now, I have
jump
a,
in on that.
I have a
can-
meeting on Saturday. It's a breakfast for Bucks County Township officials. So I am going, crack of dawn, but I am going and I know Upper Makefield, I'm working with Ben Weldon. I will try to make contact with at least the township people from like Solebury, Upper Makefield, Newtown. Right, that's why I said Solebury, New Hope. See if we can have a meeting or
yeah.
something.
Aging. Yeah. Actually, see, should be taken by supervisors that, I mean, we talk about this a lot. This committee's been on for a long time. We have these meetings and it's really, it's all volunteer and put a lot of time in, so definitely respect that and appreciate that. But from the last Board of Supervisors meeting, he presented, but we don't have any action. Maybe this
Right.
letter is the action.
Yeah.
But guess what? What I would hope that this letter state would be, we are saying, once again, these are the actions and we want to know, we want to see, it's like when you have a meeting, right? You have an action item.
Yep.
And you know
What you're following.
what action happened. Otherwise, what happens is and down the road.
Right.
And it's just status report. Okay, another year has passed and they've added how many more planes.
Yeah, right.
How many
Sure.
flights.
Well, let me,
But that, it's that we need your actions, from others that you all think about, and we would like some feedback about what is going to take, how these actions.
I can lend some perspective to this because longevity's given me an ability to recall. But we had a meeting at Afton or Quarry Hill, maybe 15 plus years ago, maybe closer to 20 years ago, where they came in and presented to the community on big boards their entire plan for their airport, and it was packed. They also had one, they've had several in New Jersey that were packed. We have a right to demand that from our township, I think, to ask for that again. Because, and then just on another subject, you made some great points. But the other point was I personally was at Newtown Township. We went down to the borough. We presented all the things that we thought were a risk to the communities there. And that basically they all came back and said, we don't have any money for you. Sorry. So we have initiated that. Maybe my sales ability or the group that went isn't as good as it used to be, but we stated our case, and there's reluctance to spend money from these townships and our township.
Yeah, right.
I mean, like we were talking about the 300 million, is that a responsible use of funding? In the past, we've had a tough time. The township has fully supported and then dropped back, but this thing hasn't gone away. Time investment with attorney, lobbyists that are skilled and do work in this business full time have successfully stopped.
That sounds like a great possible action.
It's a lot of money.
I know. Down as much.
I will tell you that I did look up cases. There are cases, but they haven't won, including like expanding LaGuardia Airport. People really had noise. The only cases that seem to get anywhere is if the house was there before the airport was built. In other words, even if the airport was 3 planes every other week, if the airport was built before the house, it's like an unwinnable so far anyway.
Fly and go across, a lot of times turn and go to the election process. That state park has been there. I mean, the event occurred in 1776. If you look at the marker, I think it was like 1897. So the state park existed before the airport. And then again, the airport, in terms of the size and I guess the task for that airport or the mission has definitely changed. So, I mean, and it seems like the mission has changed without any impact. I think it's gonna get.
Yeah.
I don't know what.
Yeah, yeah.
And I agree with you. It's not that I disagree. It's just looking up the cases. I mean, that they were really large case against LaGuardia Airport when it expanded. It expanded, and the noise level to those neighborhoods, their answer was the houses were built afterwards.
Essentially, what you're doing.
You're making excellent points that
That's a good. You're changing the community. We have people that travel to visit that park from all over the country. In fact, the Democratic candidate for president, that is where she did her interview when she moved to Pennsylvania. She went to that particular venue. So, I mean, that's something where, basically you're trying to preserve history. And if you make it that it's like being 3 miles from LaGuardia, you can understand the character of that particular.
it's funny, when this committee was formed way back when, we were asked to make suggestions to the township on, and that was the purpose of our group. And with that in mind, I have to say, there's many neighbors and friends of mine that love the airport and want to see it bigger. And they're reluctant to tell our elected supervisors that they want to spend money on something that's perceived to be us trying to kill the project. We're not trying to kill it.
He's asking. And I think that needs.
That's the perception, however.
It is
a perception. Be very clear that essentially when you have a company that is a profit-based company that has no guardrails and essentially can do what they want and cause annoyance, disturbance, pollution to the citizens, that is not acceptable.
So this is exclusive to the Infinity issue.
Yeah.
To me, that's the growth. concern. I mean, the other things. that
Yeah.
You have addressed, but basically, we would go to, what's that, county commissioners.
Well, I have to tell you, I think the flight school being, it's not the airport. It's regulated by the FAA, but it's also a private company.
Yeah.
That might be the best tactic rather than trying to, fight City Hall, as they say, fight a federal.
I would like their like abandoned, go to this app, you see what's above you. I was shocked when I found out. Like, I lived here for 25 years. I never would have thought I lived near an airport. Well, I moved now, but I got stomped in that basement. Like, you would not believe. And all I was doing was skating back. But because someone didn't like the noise from planes, I got stopped.
Yeah.
That's the risk of running an online campaign.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sentence. Is, you're not, airports and cruise. We understand that a lot of residents, you said that airport? What we're looking for is we're looking. I mean, we're really looking for the airport to exist with us and be respecting. And I think we need to make that clear. And I think the other thing is, I just honestly am wondering is, from the supervisor's perspective, given there are some residents that say love the airport, but they're not looking for it to be shut down, which we're not asking for it to be shut down, but they have that misperception. So some of the supervisors are thinking this question, I don't know, maybe the best for this represents, but Judy, right? Maybe Judy, you're the best to represent this. Is some supervisors basically say, well, we have some residents that like the airport, and then we have some residents that have issues with it. So if we just have a committee and we just keep getting status about it, is that acceptable? Because, basically we've got the code, don't want to upset residents that like the airport, but, and we can tell the residents that don't like the airport, we have this committee going on. But if the committee doesn't move forward in terms of doing any actions, then essentially it's just, the airport just goes on and continues to grow like we've seen it in the last few years. So in some ways, it seems like the supervisors need to be wary and say, where do you stand on this? Do you think that we need to actually pursue these actions? Or do you want to just continue with the way that we have been, where we're just having a status update before?
Well, if this thing can be handled correctly, I believe it could be a real asset to this community. If it's reasonable, if it's acknowledging that we're neighbors and not someone to fly over,
Yeah, I
it's
think
going to
that-
benefit both communities.
Yeah.
That was not.
Maybe.
I have to tell you, when the advisory council was first started, what, about 10 years ago? 11? More than that. But I remember there were people that literally came into supervisors meeting to close the airport. I can name who they are.
Sure.
I haven't seen them lately. But I think the problem is this is an advisory, and I can bring whatever the finished letter next Wednesday to executive or ask for it to be on the next meeting's executive committee. But more than that, my hands are tied. I mean, I'm just a liaison.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that, I don't think there's anyone on the board that does not understand the issue.
Yeah, right.
I think I think part of our issue is right now financially, the township is going to have to be, well, my husband would have said, tighten your belt a bit. We're going to have to tighten our belt a bit
Right,
because we have a lot of expenditures. We have a limit of how much taxes we can or even want to raise. And we're hitting a point where,
Who knows?
who knows?
You know, the supervisors, any of them think that it's something we should fund, or do they just think, we just want to keep a status report? Every 6 months, we want to. I mean, first off, you kind of need to have some clarity of supervisors, you know. What
Right.
is it that you want to do? And if we're talking about actions, it sounds like a lot of the actions that are enumerated don't require any money. Okay?
Asking question, it's writing a letter and pointing out something we'd like to have answered.
Somebody meeting with, what is it, Greg John, the owner of Infinity. I mean, you know, we're talking about meeting with Mr. Benson, we were talking about meeting with, those commissioners, I don't know, I'm saying, even having a conversation with, Greg John. I always get it, it's John Gregg or Greg, which is, I think it's Greg John. I think it's Greg John's. Maybe ask for a meeting with him.
Yeah.
And I mean, again, people were looking to have a conversation. What can we do as reasonable, you know, participants in this airport? We want it to be an asset to the community. What is it that we do?
Not trying to be Debbie Downer here, but we have done that in the past. And they've even, as Rich said at the last meeting, we've sent certified pack mail to them. They've returned it.
And you basically can document that we did this action and it was returned. You know, so.
Well, what about the complaints, the complaint hotline? That was erased after.
Also putting, people put complaints, but never have gotten a response.
It's because they deleted them.
Meeting was they said that, they have installed, new management in the airport. I guess there were some problems there. And the expectation would be now that it was kind of turned over every week. And they said, if people put in complaints, they're going to be responding. Well, tell you, the complaints that I put in, I haven't gotten any response from them.
Yeah.
So, the thing is, that, again, you know, we can just continue this where it's just that the board of supervisors essentially just want a status report of what's happening and how much it's grown and how much people have been inconvenienced. We can say that's what this committee is doing. Or we can say, okay, here are some enumerated actions, and even if they fail, whether you send a certified letter and it comes back, then that's something where at least you can document, because maybe it's not perceived as a problem. Maybe the decision from the township is that.
Do you get calls? Like, I have not seen another, do you get?
I have not gotten, and which is surprising because we get emails. I have to tell you, this has been the quietest couple of weeks as a supervisor. When I was a supervisor before, I could not get through the grocery store. I could not eat a slice of pizza down at Vince's or anywhere else. I mean, don't laugh. I really couldn't. And my 3 minutes to pick up 3 things while someone was waiting in the car for me ended up being 45 minutes and having to explain, honey, I'm sorry, but I had 3 people stop me. I have really not. I mean, I've heard more about the plowing.
Yeah.
Or lack thereof. And just to let you know, I had two monuments that were left at my already plowed driveway bottom that they had to come and get. And right now, in front of my house is a large piece, and then just don't go there. I've heard about plowing. I've heard about stormwater management, but I don't hear that. I used to hear more about the airport.
I'm sorry, your question about Rich?
Going to the Facebook page, say, oh, these airplanes, what's going on? Like, where are the going to? Or they just, they're not.
Well, I can tell you, I mean, I can't answer that question, but I can answer. I've watched two people lead this group over the time I've been in it, and Joanne Twinovan did a great job. And then Rich came in and replaced her. The amount of work that's demanded of that position is exhausting. And it's a volunteer position. And Rich has done a fabulous job steering the group. But, right now we're not having a lot of success.
Right.
And
Again. It would be interesting to hear the township say, we don't think this is a problem. We don't think any action is required right now. And what we're going to do is just do speak status. And if they make that, then the point is well known that they've made a decision that there's no action that's required. Because essentially by not having any actions, that's the decision that's to be the last.
So yeah, we present what we've discussed here tonight.
Right.
Stating, here are some things that could be done, and if the decision is made, no, we're not going to do action one, we're not going to do action two. The action that we're going to do is, hey, we think it's not an issue for our township, and we're just going to monitor the situation. Because that's kind of what I think the action has been.
Yep.
Which we can do, that's the problem.
But if that's
We've
Yeah, I
tried.
think you're right.
We've tried.
It's federal.
and say,
Federal, it's not, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Wouldn't be-
that they didn't think it was an issue. I think
Please
that's-
don't think that we haven't tried.
No, they have.
Saying, you have to try. What I'm saying is,
Yeah.
if we don't, if you don't have if you don't have a tangible set of actions, and at least.
Yeah, I
like you
agree.
said, do something, but you never,
Yeah.
you can't make any. Simply, and that could be the action, that just some statute, whatever it is. Right?
Well, I think that was the point of this letter,
Rich
was
did
to
a
do
good
that.
job.
And he didn't, yeah, he didn't specifically state it as actions in the terms you're speaking of, but he did all those things that you brought up, he talks about. Now, I agree, after this in conclusion paragraph, we probably should put recommended actions. Well, it doesn't matter what they say, it's what they do is what's important, right? Yeah.
Well, what I will do is I will take the letter, hopefully get it on, if not this week, probably the next meeting, second meeting in March's agenda in executive. But I mean, we had a former federal prosecutor as a supervisor, Dave Ritchie. And Dave said, we'll spend a lot of money and we're not going to get anywhere. He was even like, he said, the problem is you're batting, this is a federal issue. The best place is the Senate, is our representatives in Washington. And so far, it doesn't look like Mr. Fitzpatrick is scared. He'll show up I'm sure I'll see him next week on Sunday for the Eagle Scouts, but he doesn't show up to go to these meetings. He doesn't show up for town halls either. but
Just one of the staff members has been very.
Kyle has been very helpful. And I have Kyle, I've got him on my phone. I have him in my contacts.
Kyle Lander?
Yeah.
He did it. He's been very helpful.
I mean, Kyle is look, Brian's a nice man. I'm not gonna, I'd never have said he wasn't. But this is just not something he's dipped his toes into, and neither have our senators. And I think really, for them to get this kind of money, it's probably coming, it starts in the House, it's an appropriation, and then it has to be approved in the Senate. So,
Nothing's being approved.
and nothing's being approved. That's the only plus we have, is nothing is happening right now, and probably nothing will until after the midterms, to be honest. I don't see, I don't see any major bills going through from now till next January. I really don't.
I agree.
I mean, this is just a lot, looking at what is. But it's really a case of the supervisors are such a tiny speck to the FAA that we could rant, rave, we could go to Washington, and they're not going to really care. And like I said, I hate to spend money, what is it? Throw the baby out with the bathwater. We
Yep.
really have to get our state, we have to get our senators, our Washington senators involved. I'm not exactly sure who could get to them.
Well, let me address your concerns with a recommended actions list, okay? I wrote down, meet Mr. Benson and Mercer County, meet with local PA communities to strategize. Okay,
What's our ask from them?
Well, I think and maybe that also increases some of the representatives, like Patrick.
That's true.
Mr. Fetterman, Mr. McCormick, so the point being that it seems like larger community interest than.
right,
Mr. McCormick's worried about Connecticut.
right.
He still goes to Connecticut. It is an issue.
Yep. Okay,
If you were doing a barometer like percent for or against in our community, what would you say it would be? We were told people down in the borough
More than.
said that that's your issue. You moved there. We don't have a problem. Why are you fighting this?
And you would think the borough would be more,
They're
I mean, you
equally
would,
affected.
yeah, you would think that but the borough has, yeah, Yardley Borough has a lot of other issues right now. This is probably one of their lowest priorities, to be honest.
I'm not trying to,
And I, that's what we need.
Last time. We had,
what was their issue? What was their
Noise.
issue? Because I live there. No, I wasn't at that. I may have missed that meeting.
Yeah, you were there.
Oh, yeah.
One of the
yes,
supervisors lives in Maryland.
That's right, Ulysses.
Lives in Maryland.
Good, okay.
You need to take names. Keep a list.
But again,
It's not going to get better,
No.
believe me.
that's what. Okay, what? You would get, what, is it going to this with.
Right.
a Discussion.
Yep.
It's hard,
Are you have stuff, because again, there are people who are like, rah, rah, anything that you say that is perceived as being against the airport, like, it is mean.
I have to tell you, the people that are rah-rah airport are the snowbirds. The people are going down to Florida and coming, and I know that community well.
Ones that leave at 6 o'clock in the morning?
Well, I don't know when they leave.
Well, they fly over my house at 6.
Well, I,
If
that
you're
I-
late, it's 6:03.
I have no idea, but I know that that community shows up at township meetings if it's anything that might touch them or be near them.
Yeah.
They're the more.
Not too close here.
No,
Jets, I mean, I think early on, I don't know, was that in the 2000s or something, where they changed,
The
type of
Bumblebee
rubber
airline?
that
Right.
Jets-
East Wind?
I mean,
Oh,
the
yeah,
Jets-
yeah.
I mean,
East
the
Wind
change-
Airlines.
I was on Allegheny years ago. Two wheels in the front.
I survived.
The back. No, the plane had two wheels in the front, and one in the back.
It's, you know.
They used to go to Philly Airport.
Yeah.
Because there was no
All right, let me-
95.
I want to try and wrap this up. And I've got two more bullets under recommended action.
All right.
One is engage local representatives, state, local, and federal representatives. And I don't know if we want to say more than just engage. I don't think we can say
Who
it.
are we asking to engage?
Well, I mean,
Group? Supervisors?
well,
They're
it
not gonna
would
do
have
it.
to be the supervisors, wouldn't it? Well, I mean, that's what these recommendations are for the supervisors. No, right,
No,
right.
What was your other point then? Steve?
And the last bullet was have the airport present expansion plans to the local communities as they did in whenever. When was that?
Quarry Hill, Atherton?
yeah, did it years ago.
Yeah.
Well, they did it when we have a bridge. I mean, and that was federal. The,
Right. Right.
well, 95 now, 295, whatever.
Right.
That they had meetings all up and down this area. So that was federal, but that was then, not now. To be
Okay.
honest.
So that,
It's actually,
okay,
and so, you know, we haven't heard anybody ever use Ryan. I think he actually planned to have a meeting. And so, you know, we've talked about moving the airport. Density, but, you know, maybe have a discussion with the high school itself. If you don't know how to write John, sure you can ask people that, you know, work here in your part. And again, maybe there could be some discussion then for some of these things that
Sure.
were done formally.
You hit a question in my head. I'm sorry to.
no,
I
go
know we're
ahead.
trying to wrap up, but the candidate that's running to replace Bonnie Watson Coleman's spot. I can't think, there was a story in the Inquirer a couple of weeks ago about her.
I'll find
She's
out.
the one that at the Norcross trial had to be physically removed from the room. She's pretty spirited.
I'll ask my son.
So there was
He's
a
over
big, I
there.
know, we met with Bonnie Watson Coleman's office one day. I'm sorry? She was this US Congresswoman from across the river for years. And we met in her office, and what happened was they realized who we were after we were sitting down, I believe. And they wouldn't let her in the room, and the meeting was abruptly called, and, you know, we're done.
Well, I mean, we can.
But maybe there's another person. Stuff changes.
That's it. That's what we're all able to handle. You know, I hear, it almost seems like we're, failing before we start. And maybe.
But is he saying there's other areas where he talked to us?
things. Maybe that's the case, and maybe it isn't. I don't know, maybe the likelihood of success is very, very unlikely. I don't know. but the
Was it-
point is,
Well,
do we
Was
want
it
to
Verlina,
Try.
the one who lives from Trent, the one in Trent?
yeah, well, I think there are 2 points to that. One is energizing the board of supervisors. That's the first point. And second point is getting them prepped so that they don't walk into a meeting and get surprised by, you're in Bucks County. Why are you here? Why am I even talking to you? You know, I mean, they've got to be prepared.
Things that, meet with the other. Go back to the.
Yeah, right, right.
We've done this, we've done this, we've done this, and maybe if it's nothing but editorial to newspaper or an editorial put on a senator's, whatever. But again, by them declining to listen to you, that's a data point. At least you can say
They could act.
that it didn't, you know, hey, we try, we want to hold your close. You know, people enjoy your. We're just saying, how can we work together, have good neighbors, have this be a community asset? And the other side, can watch. That's a data point. Don't in any way change their behavior, and even I don't get to move now. Various communication. So again,
Yeah, there is precedent for that in other airports, obviously, but it's up to them to implement a, which they refuse to do.
Right.
Over the course of time.
Right.
no, no.
Right,
So
right,
again,
right.
no.
Yeah, yeah. A catch-all. Yeah, yeah.
I think you
Okay.
you said the right
Uh,
thing. It's here.
Is there any new business?
Again, it's good to get input.
No, thank you. Yeah, no, appreciate your comments.
It's almost like voting. Get more people to come to
Yeah,
meetings.
right.
Get people to come to the township, to the Board of Supervisors meetings, and just stand up and just say,
I don't think we need them to come to meetings. We,
we need you to
what
speak up.
seems, what your group seems to lack is a place where you can communicate with each other without being harassed. You know, and I don't know if TTN, that website is useful or valuable, or there's another group. Yeah, no, I've heard of it, but I haven't seen it. Oh, okay. What's that called again?
I think that might be
Know
the
about it?
best way to get both sides of the river together.
Yeah, I know.
Saying, you can solve it. If the solution is basically everybody come over to Pennsylvania, that's okay.
Well,
Yeah, right.
I don't know if they, I think that if you could get with the administrators of that group, tell them that we in Pennsylvania want to be good neighbors, and we also don't want, Infinity to grow. We'd be happy if it retracted a bit. Perhaps they could get some of our people involved
Yeah,
in,
yeah. I'll take that action to do that. Yeah. Because we got to get, I mean, my first thought is why don't we just make an ordinance, a noise ordinance over Lower Makefield Township? It's
I don't, I think
unenforceable.
we have, by the way, we do have noise ordinances.
Okay.
We do have them. If somebody's kids are having a loud party at 1 o'clock in the morning, there is a noise ordinance.
Yeah, but I mean, that's
Ask me how I know this.
ground level. That's ground level.
Well, let me
I
give
know,
you
but the
another-
problem is we're dealing with a federal entity and they really could care less. what
Yeah,
we
I
do.
know.
One of the most effective things we have going on in the township, I think, is the light emission.
Oh, yeah.
And when Wegmans was put in, I expected the worst, and it's really well done. So there are ordinances like that,
Yeah,
hey, Orange County did it.
Right, yeah.
They wouldn't let them fly in at a certain time.
right.
The problem is they're not flying into Bucks County. They're flying into
Yeah, right.
another,
The fly-
not just another county, but another state.
I mean, yeah,
That is our,
How
and
would you-
that has been our problem from east wind. I mean,
Oh, yeah, I remember Rich setting out the noise meters and stuff,
yeah,
when
right.
there was what did they do? They had no discernible increase in noise level because they did it like on a Saturday afternoon, or Sunday night or something when
Yeah,
nobody was
right.
flying
Nobody's flying, right?
but look, I remember one of our supervisors says he's going to get a big net to catch them. They were that low,
To the
they were
fires.
that low over John's house that he was going to get a net to catch the.
Yeah. Well, thanks to everybody for coming out. This has been great, and your input's
Yeah.
appreciated.
Oh, no, I didn't look. Let me close this out.